Any of you guys know Wallow and Gilly? Y'all can raise your hand or talk. Wallow and Gilly, they came to the school and they did like a reform event. We've had like homecoming is super lit. So I'm gonna be going to my first homecoming in October. I was a part of the Student Government Association as well. So one thing I would tell you guys, when y'all go to your prospective schools, make sure that you get involved. No matter what college you decide to go to, what HBCU you decide to go to, college is what you make it, right? So you have to make sure that you're involved in different things on campus so that you can, you have something that's getting you outside of school. I also was able to pledge at school. So I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority. And just different opportunities that like my campus was able to offer me. And I started my business my sophomore year on campus, and the support that I received from my family at school is like tremendous. Like I wouldn't be where I am without like any of the people on campus supporting me. I started selling like my company merch, and like everybody wanted to support me. Like it wasn't a day that I could go by without seeing somebody like wearing my stuff. And like that's the type of support that you're gonna get at your HBCU. So anybody have any questions about Virginia State?
You guys shout out your majors that you're interested in so Aaliyah can hear it, so that she can give you some more insight, especially in the world of where she's coming from, financial education and how to navigate through your career, especially those people who have to go for those masters and doctorates on here, because that's the harder degrees where you actually have to spend more money to succeed. So I want you to shout it out or put it in the chat.
How far is Virginia State from DC? That's probably about like, we used to drive to DC all the time. It's probably about like 2.5 hours. Yeah, we used to drive to DC all the time. Yeah, it's not far at all. It's a lot of people. But one thing I would say though, like any school that you decide to go to, make sure that like your major or anything that you're interested in studying is like a top college or a top, major at that school, right? Because a lot of times we go to schools because we want to go there, but we end up like changing our majors or not really getting the education we need because the major that we want to major in is really not that good at that college. So I know for like Virginia State, the really good majors are like departments, business, political science department, the engineering department is really good. Like we have a lot of people who work with like different companies and stuff like that. I'm trying to think. Mass communications is good. I can't think of all of them off the top of my head, but those are good majors.
Excellent. And so we had some kids shout out physics, nursing, criminology, sports medicine, aerospace engineering. So we have a lot of good mix of students that are from healthcare and the science, the STEM careers. We also have a business major here. So this is all ties into what Aaliyah wants to talk about budgeting during college. So let's get started.
Yes, let's get started. Okay, let me share my screen. All right. Can everybody see my screen? Yes.
Yeah.
Good. So I know it's early, right? And I know, some of you guys eat and don't have too much energy, but because I'm young, right, I like to make sure that I make this conversation. I don't want to just be up here, talking to you guys or giving you guys a lecture. Y'all going to school for that. So we're going to make this conversation based, even if y'all talking in the chat or whatever it is. I'm going to ask a lot of questions to make sure y'all engage. Can I get a thumbs up? That's cool. Just a thumbs up. All right, perfect. So real quick, for the people who can come off mute, right, we're going to do a quick little icebreaker. So you guys are on an HBCU tour. So for the most part, when y'all met some of the students at the HBCUs or whatever schools y'all are going to, it's a certain way that we greet people when we meet them, right? Or at least at Virginia State. But for the most part, amongst the HBCU culture, this is how we greet people. right? We say I am, and then you say your name, you say your age, you say what grade or senior, whatever you're in, your classification, your major, and you say what school you go to and where you're from, right? So I'm gonna do it real quickly, and then I want somebody to do it. I'm gonna ask Jada if you could do it when I'm done. All right, don't make that face, Jada. I got you. All right, so real quick, I am Aaliyah Duah, a 20-year-old senior business management major at Virginia State University from Brooklyn, New York. So as you can see, in just this like less than 5-second pitch, I told you my name, my age, my grade, my school, and where I'm from, right? And that's a good way for you to learn confidence, because a lot of times, y'all ever notice somebody can ask you your name and then you'll stutter, or somebody can ask you how old you are and you'll stutter, and that's because we're not prepared for those questions, right? Or we don't know how to introduce ourselves. So when you use this little formula right here, it will help you build your confidence and learn how to introduce yourself in a space. So as you guys are going on these different trips and things like that, y'all can introduce yourselves in different spaces that y'all are in, right? So Jada, if you could test this out really quickly for me, please.
Okay, I am Jada, a 15-year-old junior at Fireball High School, and I want to major in sports medicine, and I'm from Georgia.
Perfect. Good job.
Woo! Jada, thank you.
Thank you. Yes. The only thing I would do to critique you is don't just say Jada, right? You want to say your last name as well, because there may be another Jada in the room. There may be you get what I'm saying? Like, you want to use your full name, claim your name, right? And another key thing, notice how in the start of it we say I am, right? It's really important as we mature, we start going from my name is to I am, because when you say I am, you're claiming that that's who you are, right? There's an affirmation at the beginning of that. Can I have one male try that? Kendrick, I'm gonna call on you.
Yeah. I am Kendrick Bracey. I am 17 years old, and I am from Rancho Cucamonga, California.
All right, good job. Thank you, Kendrick. And just next time, make sure you add, whatever school you go to and what you're hoping to major in, or in your case, it could also be what you aspire to be in the future as well, because you never know who can be in that room. It can be a business owner or somebody who works somewhere, and they can give you guys an internship based off of what you said you're interested in. All right, so we're gonna move on. So today we're going to talk about budgeting. We're going to talk about the difference between wants versus needs. And we're also going to talk about the importance of having smart goals, right? Because I heard all of you guys got a little bit of money, right? Y'all going to cash at me? Anybody can cash at me? I heard y'all got some money. Y'all got some money? Thumbs up if y'all got some money.
Nah, we broke.
Broke is a mindset, y'all. Broke is a mindset. But yes, right? So what do you guys think of when you hear the word budgeting? Donovan, what do you think of when you hear budgeting?
Like, you see how much money you got, how much you need to save, and how much you can spend on the things that you need.
Exactly, right? You're seeing how much money you have, how much money you can save, how much money you can spend, right? So you're really just trying to figure out your finances, right? So budgeting is a financial plan that you create to determine how you will spend money over time, right? So you can have different types of budgets, right? You can have a budget for a week, you can have a budget for a month, and you can have a yearly budget, right? And usually what happens is you'll have like a yearly budget, and then you have to break it down to a monthly budget, and then you have to break it down to a weekly budget. Does that make sense? Because you have to break it down so it can be a little bit easier. So it's almost like, let's think of it not as if we're not talking about budgeting, right? If I say I want to make, $100,000 in a year, I have to first see, okay, how much money do I have to make per month to get to that goal, right? Then I have to say, okay, that's how much money I have to make per month, but how much money do I have to make per week to get to that goal? Does that make sense? And then you break it down, how much money do I have to make per day to get to that goal. And it's the same thing with a budget. In order to create a budget, you have to know yearly, monthly, weekly, and then break it down by the day, right? Because it makes it a little bit easier. If I just say like, all right, I got to make $100,000 in a year, but I don't know the different numbers that associated with that, then it could kind of become complicated, right? So this is how you create a budget. So for the budget that you guys have to create for the amount of money that you guys have, what type of budget do you have to create? A monthly or a weekly? Madison?
Weekly.
Weekly, exactly. So now, common misconceptions. A lot of people think in order for you to budget or in order for you to just be financially literate, and that basically means understanding how money works, understanding how to save your money, how to budget your money, how to invest your money, how to protect your money. A lot of people think that you have to be rich. A lot of people think like you have to be rich to know how to budget, and that's completely the opposite. You have to be financially literate, right, in order to get rich, right? You have to budget in order to get rich. You know what I'm saying? Because the habits that you have with your money now are going to help you create that wealth for yourself. And also, it doesn't take years to learn. So once I finish this presentation, right, you guys can start practicing this stuff right now in your daily life, right? So how do you think a budget can help you in your daily life? Trinidad?
You said how it will help us in our daily life?
Oh. Yes. How do you think a budgeting can help you?
I don't know, save money. You help you save money and I don't know. Save money.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Continue.
It helps you save money, and then you can have I don't know how to say it. Like, I don't know, this budget. I don't know.
You do know. You're saying it. You gotta have confidence. You do know. You're literally saying it, right? So you're saying it. It can help you save money, right? And what else?
And then I don't know how to say it. It's just
You do know how to say it. You got it. I want you to do one more try. You got it.
All right. It helps you save money.
Donovan
and then
is motivating you. Thank you, Donovan.
I don't know. It helps you. It can help you save money, and then when you I'm thinking of the word. Jesus. I don't know. I'm stuck right now.
All right, give me an example of what you're trying to say.
So let's say you gotta manage like how much you're gonna spend a day, and then like let's say I need to spend like $30 today, and then I need to spend 15 tomorrow. Oh no, that's my way of budgeting.
Okay, you got it. You got it, Trinidad. Thank you so much, Trinidad. Yeah. Yes, right. It helps you learn how to save money. It helps you create a balance, letting you know, okay, this is how much I can spend today. This is how much I can spend tomorrow. Maybe Christmas is coming up, so I can, I've been saving a little bit more money so that I could buy more gifts, right? This is what happens when you budget. Right? So we have something called SMART goals. Has anybody ever heard of SMART goals? Can you raise your hand if you heard of SMART goals? You could just put the hands up there. Okay, Donovan heard of SMART goals. All right, Kendrick heard of SMART goals. All right. So yes, SMART goals. It's an acronym, right? So S stands for specific. You want to make sure that your goal is very specific. So you know who, what, where, when, why, right? You know everything about that goal. So you want to measure your goal, right? That's M. You want to make sure that you can put some numbers behind it, right? A date. You can't improve what you don't measure, right? A, achievable. You want to make sure it's not something that's impossible, right? Like, I'm going to make $1 million tomorrow, right? Yes, anything is possible, but what's my strategy? How likely is that to happen, right? R, relevant, right? Closely connected to an objective, right? So, like, is your goal even worth achieving? Is it relevant? Does it make sense? Does it align with any other goals that you have? And in time, a completion date holds you accountable, right? I feel like this is where a lot of people mess up. We'll have a goal and we'll say, I want to lose weight, right? That's not a SMART goal. I don't know how much weight I want to lose. I don't know By when, I don't know if that's even achievable, right? These are all the different things that you need to know in order to make sure that your goal is a smart goal. So instead of just saying I want to lose weight, I would say I want to go to the gym every day so that I can lose 15 pounds by August 1st. You know what I'm saying? That is very specific. I'm telling you what I'm doing. It's achievable. I have a date behind it, and it's very specific. So now, why is it important to have a budget, right? So one, a budget makes sure you have enough money for your needs, right? So with the money that you have, that you've been given, you don't want to just go spend it, because you want to make sure you have enough for what you need, right? You don't want to be that person that's like, yo, can I borrow $20? Because you done spent all your money buying things that you wanted, right? So you want to be able to know that you can afford the things that you need. It helps you stay out of debt. So again, if you spent all your money, now you got to go borrow money from somebody or from a bank, right? So now you're in debt, and that's what I call bad debt, right? Because now you went into debt. You owe somebody money for personal expenses, versus good debt, right? You went into debt to go buy, something that can make you more money in the future. And then it helps you maintain balance, right? Because you know how much money is coming in, coming out, right? And you're in control of your money. And then it takes away the financial stress. Do you know that finances is like one of the number one causes of stress, besides health, the number one causes of stress and divorces? Because a lot of people are just not financially literate. They don't learn these different things that you're learning right now, right? And it prepares you for your future. Do we have any questions? Everybody following? Can I get a thumbs up? Everybody following?
Donovan has a question.
Oh, I thought his hand was up from before. You have a question, Donovan?
I'm sorry. No, I don't got a question. My bad. I'll put it down.
Okay, thank you.
All right. What you need to establish a budget, right? So one, a lot of people forget, right? So yes, I need to know my income. I need to know my expenses. I need to have goals. But a lot of people forget. It starts here. In order for me to even want to create a budget, I have to be in a right mindset, right? Because a lot of us, we spend money the way we see our parents spend money, right? So if our parents are always holding on and saving on to a lot of money, that may be what we do. If our parents are always just spending money, that may be the habit that we create. You know what I'm saying? So we have to understand, we have to create, financial skills that will actually help us get to the goals that we want to get to. And it starts here, right? We have to start understanding how money works. And we have to be willing and disciplined to make smart financial decisions. So mindset, right? Does anybody know what instant gratification is? Aylin, do you want to take an educated guess on what you think instant gratification is? Aylin?
It's Eileen.
I'm Arlene. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm gonna call on somebody else. Let me see. Crystal?
No, I think I got it.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Instant gratification is like, I believe, the urge to want to get something.
Okay, the urge to want to get something. All right. Anybody else want to give it a try? Sean?
I think it's when you want to buy something you want, but you don't need.
Okay, you want to buy something you want and you don't need. So yep, you guys are all hitting it, right? So instant gratification. Who in here likes to eat sweets? I know I do, right? And a lot of times we like eating sugar, right? We like eating carbs and donuts and cakes and candy because we're instantly gratified, right? We get that taste, we taste it and we're like, it's so good. Versus when you're eating vegetables, you may not really get that same type of satisfaction, right? You're instantly satisfied. You're instantly gratified once you eat some really good food or really good snacks or really good sweets. And it's similar to when we're spending our money, right? When we go buy a new pair of sneakers, like we got a fresh box of fresh kicks, right? We get a new game, you got a new game, you can go put it in, you can go play, right? And that is instant gratification. And a lot of times we'll start to see that the things that instantly give us the gratification are the things that are not that good for us, right? So when we eat those sweet foods and a lot of carbs and those mac and cheese, those fried chickens, those are the foods that are not really that good and not that healthy to eat, right? Versus if I'm eating my vegetables, over time is going to help me maintain my health, right? If I'm saving and investing my money, over time is going to help my money grow, right? And a lot of us, because we want to be instantly gratified, right? You have to notice, like when you're spending money, like we'll see the ice cream truck and now we want ice cream because that is the instant gratification. Versus saving our money is almost like, do I really want to save this money? Or, you know what I'm saying? So we have to start to understand what's the difference. Like, am I trying to be instantly gratified, or should I invest this money? Should I save this money? Should I, value this money? Do I really have a purpose behind this purchase that I want to get? So now earning, when it comes to budgeting, you have to make sure you have money coming in, which I don't got to worry about y'all because y'all already got y'all money. So y'all need to send some over here, right? So when you're earning money, that is the money that you're going to use to help you budget, right? To help you save, invest, and things like that. And you have something called multiple sources of income, right? So yes, you guys may have received some money, but you're also going to get some money from your parents, right? You may have that uncle that may come or that aunt that may come and give you some extra few dollars. You get what I'm saying, right? Or you guys may have a summer job, right? So multiple sources of income. And a lot of times when we think of multiple sources of income, we think that we have to have multiple jobs or we have to do a whole bunch of different things. You can make money from an orange, just an orange, multiple different ways. I can have orange juice. I could sell the orange. I could make an orange hand butter. I could make, have seeds of orange. I could make orange gummies, right? There's all these different ways I could make money from just that one thing. Oh, wait, the screen is only showing one slide this whole time? Oh, I'm so sorry. I've been switching screens. Hold on, let me see. Can you see my screen? Do you see mine?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Can you pull it? Can you expand it?
Oh, okay. That's what happens when I expand it. All right, let me see something. Let me stop sharing my screen. I apologize. I did not know.
We were flowing though. I was like, man, I love it.
Okay, let me see. All right, let me see. Okay, now Zoom. All right. What do you do? Hold on, I see some questions in chat. What do you do to budget your money so well? Okay, we're gonna get to those questions. How would you recommend budgeting a minimum wage job in California while still paying for things like groceries and gas? All right, we about to get to that, y'all. These are great questions. All right, so spending, right? You want to make sure that you're spending your money wisely, right? What are you spending your money on? Right. So if some of you guys have bank accounts or have any ways to, record what you're spending your money on, and you can look back, just look back at those purchases and say, did I really need that? Do I even wear that shirt that I bought? Did I really need, you know what I'm saying? You'll start to see that a lot of the things we spend our money on are things that we really didn't need. And sometimes, right, and I could attest to this, right? It's not even that you're spending, a lot of money at once. It could be the $2 here, the $5 there, the $10 here, maybe $20 here. And because they're little purchases, we're thinking, no, it's only $2. I could just get that, right? But if you keep spending $2 often, your money is going to start to run out, right? And then you're going to touch your pocket and you're going to say, oh, wait, what happened, right? So you want to be careful of those little purchases as well. You want to have a purpose behind every purchase. Now, saving. Do you have an emergency fund? This is not money for your daily spending, right? So a portion of the money that you guys receive, y'all should put that to the side because you never know what can happen, right? And yes, we don't want to, say anything's going to happen, but you just never know. right? It's almost like, you know, when the pandemic happened, none of us could have really predict that the pandemic was going to happen. And now we have 3 types of income, y'all. So one is active income. So that's money that you're making for working, right? So that's when you're exchanging your time for money. So that may be working at McDonald's, Starbucks, Chick-fil-A. They're making active or earned income. Then we have passive income. So this is how it works. You have to most of the time you have to start somewhere, right? You have to start somewhere, so you get yourself a job, right? And then you use the money from your job to fund your passive income, right? So you use the money from your job to invest in whatever it is, your business idea, if you're making bracelets, if you're making a book, whatever it is. And now you develop passive income. That is money that you make that requires little to no effort. So similar to me, I have a book. I have a digital version and I have a physical version. Anytime anybody ordered a digital version, I don't have to do anything. They literally just go on my website, they buy the book, and it goes straight to their device. And that is passive income because I don't have to I did something one time and I don't have to physically be doing anything to go make that money, right? And then we have portfolio income. So now that I have my passive income and my active income, I can now have portfolio income. And that's when you're making money from investments. So that could be real estate, stocks, right? Any type of portfolio that you have, you can make money from investments. So those are the 3 types of income. So it's very important that you understand these 3 types of income because a lot of people only have earned income, right? And what happens with earned income is that you're always working for your money. You always have to exchange your time to make money. And sometimes we only have 24 hours in a day and you can't work all 24 hours. And determining on how much money that you make and for each hour is going to determine your total amount of money that you make. And you want to make sure that you are making money while not having to actually, you know, exchange your time for money, right? So similar to how I said earlier, you can have multiple sources of income. These are 3 different ways using one thing, McDonald's, that somebody's able to make money. So you could be working at McDonald's, you can own a McDonald's stock, or you can have a McDonald's franchise. Now expenses, right? We have set expenses, fixed expenses and flexible expenses, right? So fixed expenses is for the most part, you know, when things have a fixed price, right? So those are like, you know, your mortgage payments or your rent payments or your phone bill or, you know, things where like, you know, every month you have to set aside this amount of money for that expense. That cannot change, right? And a lot of you guys may not have to pay bills right now, but if you ask your parents, these are the things that they have to include in their monthly budgets. These are expenses that they have to make sure that they pay. Now, flexible expenses, right? These can vary. And these are the type of expenses that a lot of us have. We have flexible expenses. We spend our money on entertainment, you know, clothes, food, and those are things that we can change. So maybe one month, right, you say, you know what, instead of eating out so much, I'm going to go food shopping and I'm going to spend this much money. Maybe this month, I'm not going to go, like, let's say November. You save extra in November because, you know, Christmas is coming up and maybe you want to get your family members some gifts. So you say, you know what, I'm not going to go out with my friends that much, right? I'm going to save the money that I'm getting. So now you could cut back on entertainment costs, right? Those are flexible expenses, things that can change. And now needs versus wants, right? I'm not going to read this to y'all because y'all already know. Y'all know the difference between needs versus wants. But what I am going to explain to you guys is that, remember I talked to you guys about mindset? Our mind can work some real funny games when it comes to our needs versus wants. And I experience it all the time. So yes, we may need shoes, right? We need shoes. We can't just walk around barefoot, right? We need shoes. But does that mean I need the latest sneakers that come out every weekend? Does that mean I need the most expensive shoes? No, right? I want that stuff. That doesn't mean I need it. Like, yes, I need shoes, but I desire to have the most expensive or the latest. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I need to eat food, but I do not need to eat out every day or every weekend. I do not need to eat the most expensive meals, right? So we have to start psychologically understanding the difference between our needs and our wants, because we'll manipulate our minds to think that we need the things that we desire to have. So yes, we may need it, but we want a specific thing. Does that make sense? Is anybody can anybody say that they are guilty of doing that? I'll raise my hand first.
I am.
Right? See, right? We gotta be honest with ourselves, right? And that's how we're able to, understand the things that we need to change, because we have to be honest with ourselves. We have to say, you know what? Like, I do that, right? I need to change my mindset here, right? Like, yeah, I need to make sure I'm young. I need to make sure, I'm doing things, I'm having fun, I'm entertaining myself. But that doesn't mean that I need to stay up all night playing a game, or that doesn't mean that I can't focus on my schoolwork. And you know what I'm saying? So we have to understand the different things that we are telling ourselves. So now, different saving plans, right? We have something called the 50-30-20 rule. And this is something that you guys can utilize now, right? So that means 50% of your money goes to the stuff that you need. And while you're young, right, we have some of the best benefits, because we don't really have to spend that much money, buying our needs. For the most part, our parents are going to take care of that, right? So now we feel like, we have all this money for our wants. And yes, that may be true, but we won't stay young forever, right? I was just in high school, right? I was just at a Black College Expo event. I was. And now I am a graduate, and I am an adult, and I'm adulting. You know what I'm saying? And as you get older, and I'm pretty sure your parents, tell you guys this all the time, but this is friend to friend, young person to young person, right? We won't stay young forever. Life is going to go by fast. Your 4 years of high school and of college is going to go by super fast. And even in college, you're going to have to budget. You're going to have to adult, because you're going to have to get your own groceries. You're going to have to, be on your own and get your own stuff. So these are some of the things that we have to learn now, because like the number one thing I used to hate hearing in school was like, I'm a broke college student. Like, we'll say that like it's a trend, and it's not funny. That's not something that we want to say, because when you're saying that, you're claiming that over your mind, right? And a lot of us do not learn to even change our habits. So now, like, you carry that mindset with you into your adult years. You get what I'm saying? So if you guys learn, the number one thing you're going to say when you get older, if you don't practice this stuff now, I wish I would have did this when I was young. So many older people tell me that. Wow, I wish I did this when I was young. Man, if I invested when I was young, or if I put money into Apple when I was young, look how big Apple got, right? So we are young. We have the time. This is our time to shine. You know what I'm saying? And if we want to have a certain lifestyle, we have to create that lifestyle for ourselves, right? Ms. Denise said, how many think that now? So now, how to create a budget. So to answer, a lot of you guys' questions, how to create the budget. So if y'all didn't take any notes, take a picture of this or write this down, whatever you need to do. This is the most important part, how to create a budget. One, you want to calculate your income. So whatever amount of money that you guys got this time around. So no matter if it was $200, right? $200 is your income. So let's say $200. You want to calculate your expenses. What are the things that you have to spend your money on? Have to. So your fixed expenses, have to. Put that in your budget. Then you create another column for flexible expenses. What are some of the things that you may want to buy? So whatever college that you're going to, that you're visiting, and you say, you know what, like, I really want to go here. I want to get some merch. That's okay. So you have to include that in your budget. That may cost $60, $70. Put that in your budget. So now you automatically have this amount of money. Make a plan on how you will accomplish your financial goals. So maybe you'll say, you know what, by the end of this, I want to make sure I still have, $75, or I want to have $100, or whatever amount it is. How can you accomplish that goal? So you have to map it out. And when you map things out, you're able to stick to it. It's almost like when you're on an airplane. If you go on an airplane, let's use airplane. Let's go. You're on an airplane, right? If the airplane does not have any destination, it does not have a goal, it will just be in the air, flying around. And eventually it will fall down. But because an airplane has a destination, every time it goes up in the sky, it has a route that it says, you know what, we're going to go this way. We're going to avoid this traffic. We're going to avoid this air, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it makes it easier for the airplane to navigate because it already knows what it's going to do. And a pilot, you are the pilot of your financial well-being, right? You have to adjust your habits and you have to stay disciplined, right? Imagine the pilot says, you know what? I don't want to take this route. We're just going to go this way, right? The people that they work for are going to be looking at them like, yo, what are you doing? Where are you taking these people, right? And you have to be consistent. And what I like to do is give myself an incentive to hold myself accountable. So it can be, you know what? If you accomplish this goal, you can go play this game or do whatever you guys want to do. You know what I'm saying? Or buy something off of Shein or whatever, because I know y'all like Shein. You know what I'm saying? So hold yourself accountable, because a lot of times we say, you know, I need an accountability partner, but you have to be your accountability partner when nobody's looking, okay? So this is how you create a budget, and this is the most important part. All right? So now we'll open the floor to any questions.
First of all, let's give her a round of applause. That was excellent, Aaliyah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys ask questions. We'll be on this call for another 6 minutes before we have to go downstairs to our first HBCU tour. Don't be shy. Get on camera and off mute.
All right, so look, this is how we gonna do it.
Okay.
I'm gonna call on some people. All right, so now I can see. All right, Milana, did I pronounce that right? I hope so. All right, Layla, I see your question, but Milana, what's one thing you took away, or one thing you learned or you found interesting?
Okay, I love how you budget. I love the SMART goals. I've heard before this, I heard of SMART goals, but I didn't know the words that it meant. So that really caught me. And yeah, I love money. And I'm always looking for different ways to budget. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That was excellent.
Answer Layla's question. What's the best way to budget for bi-weekly pay? I feel like just similar to any other budget, right? You create a monthly budget, because bi-weekly, you'll know you have 4 weeks in a month, right? So you'll know every 2 weeks you're gonna make, let's say, $600. So now you know I make $1,200 in a month, and you can just budget accordingly, right? So that's your income for the month. You have to know your fixed is very important, right? You identify the differences between your fixed expenses and your flexible expenses, right? And so that you can know how much money is going to each area. So that's how I would budget a bi-weekly pay. I would just add it together, the two different weeks, how much money I'm making, and usually go like that. Let's see. Roy?
Hi. How much would you have to save if you wanted to start your own business or a startup?
Okay, so that question is relative, right? Because it depends on it's a lot of different questions, right? So what type of business you're starting, what are the startup costs of your business? So if I'm trying to figure that out, what I'll do is create a list of the different things that I absolutely need to start that business, right? I absolutely need. So let's say I'm trying to start a photography business. Of course, I need a camera, and different equipment. So I'll look up, all right, how much does this camera cost? How much does this equipment cost? And I'll add up that cost. Then that'll let me know how much I need to save right? A portion of my check I need to save to get the different material that I need. And then a lot of times people don't understand, when you have a business, depending on what type of business you have, you can start getting certain material, right? And then as you're making money in a business, you can start getting more material. You don't always have to come out of your pocket necessarily to get the stuff that you need, right? So it's almost like if I'm starting a clothing brand, a lot of people make this mistake too, right? Well, not necessarily a mistake, but a lot of people don't know that when you're starting a clothing brand, some people don't have enough money coming in to buy the clothes. So what you can do is you can go on like Custom Ink or Be Funky or Canva, any of those platforms, and you can make a prototype. You can literally make a mock-up of whatever clothing item you're trying to make, and you can make a prototype of the design. All you have to do, screenshot it, cut it out, make it look cool, make it look like you really designed it, in real life. And maybe you can, go buy yourself one shirt, right? Go get it printed at a mall or something. And then you can get pre-orders, have people pre-order it, right? And that way now you have the money to go buy the actual clothing. You know what I'm saying? So like any business where you can kind of like copy that same framework, do that. So that you're not coming out of pocket for your money. Like I see Telford do it all the time. They will drop a prototype of an item of what it will look like, and a whole bunch of people will go crazy for it. But they don't really they probably have the item, but they're not posting the real thing. You know what I'm saying? So you can do that. All right.
That was smart. That was you just said some real wow.
Thank you.
Y'all just don't even know.
Would you recommend
Aaliyah?
Wait, hold on. I can't see that comment. It says, okay, I see it. Would you recommend to someone to open up an IRA? Yes, the IRA is good, right? For the people who don't know what an IRA is, it's a individual retirement account, right? And basically what that basically does is an account for retirement. But it has a lot of different nuances to it, and a lot of different instructions, right? So a lot of retirement accounts, like you can't take the money out until like after 59 or something like that, and if you do take it out, they'll charge you taxes and all these different things. So you kind of want to read, right? And like a lot of this stuff is not difficult to understand. Just you can watch like 2-minute videos on it and just really take the time out to understand what you're doing, right? Because what they do is they make it long and they make it a lot of information, so people who look like us don't understand this stuff. But it's not that difficult, right? If they can do it, we can do it. It's not rocket science, right? So just take the time out to read it, and see what you're getting yourself into, right? Because you have an IRA account, and then you can have a regular brokerage account where you're investing, on your own and things like that.
And you don't necessarily need to go through a bank to do it. You can go through these investment platforms such as TD Ameritrade and Stockpile, and you can do that all on your own. And it's very easy. It's very easy. If you can work Instagram, TikTok, and the rest of that, you could do it. And you can start with $20.
Yes. And you guys, most of you guys are probably under 18. So what you'll have to do is get like a parent to create like a custodial account for you, or like a youth account. So similar to if anybody has a bank account, for the most part, your parent probably is the head of your bank account, but you get to have your own card and control it and stuff like that. It's the same thing for an investment account, but you're just investing. And then once you turn 18, you kick your parents out, or automatically kicks them out. And then now you're in control of every single thing. Any other questions? Let me see. I didn't hear from Courtney. Courtney, you have any questions or any takeaways?
Courtney, just ask a question. We know that you had to go.
I don't have any
with
questions.
Lala, so just.
Oh wait, what?
Just ask a question. Don't just go ahead, or comment or whatever. Mm-hmm.
I don't have any questions, but I would add a comment. I like that you told us more about like needs and wants and the difference between needs and wants, because sometimes it's hard to tell the difference. and budget for both.
Yes. I'm telling you, like our mind is super powerful. Our mind will convince us that we need something that we really want. So we have to really, understand how to tell the difference between that. And last person I'm gonna call on, I do not want to pronounce your name wrong. Ozzy?
Ozzy.
Okay.
Ozzy.
Okay.
Good morning. I'm Ozzy. What I took away from this is budgeting your money the right way with the wants and needs, like Courtney said, how she took away from that. Because I frequently spend money on just like food, because when I see something good that looks good, I want it, so I'm going to always get it. But it's not a need. Like if I'm not hungry, I don't need to get it when I have snacks in my backpack.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm the same way. And one thing that helped me and is helping me is understanding that one day my dad told me that there's always going to be something new that you want. That's what businesses do. They're always creating something new. So similar to Apple's always going to create a new product. Different food places are always going to come up with new food items because we are consumers. They want us to consume and buy their product. So the desire will never stop, right? And then also understanding that we have to make a sacrifice. And, I'd rather sacrifice now while I'm young and I don't have, any crazy responsibilities versus when life kind of gets, really hard and you got to have kids and you got to have a family. You got to, you know what I'm saying? You got student loan. Like these are all the different things that you will have to think about when we're older. We don't have to think about it right now. So it's a little bit easier to make these sacrifices now versus when you have kids, you have to think to yourself, do I feed my kids or do I invest my money? That's a hard choice to make. You know what I'm saying? And these are not choices that we have to make right now. So it's a little bit easier for us to say, you know what? Let's scale back right now while we're young, because I don't want to have to make that type of choice when I get older.
Let me add on to that, Aaliyah. She's absolutely right. Aaliyah doesn't have, major responsibilities outside of her business and taking care of those. I am a parent and married, and so is our other couple on this tour. And it's a lot of work to think back and say, dang, I could have been way ahead if I would have just budgeted, saved my money, and invested it when I could, especially when I got my scholarship money or my financial aid money. When that money gets released into your bank account or they give you that money to pay for your school, they also sometimes it will be a little bit left over for you to have something for books or extra resources. You can invest that money and open up your brokerage accounts. You can put it in a savings account that you're not looking at, that you automatically deposit every month, $100, $200 that you just don't see. You just put it over there and you just put it in another bank that you don't even touch. You just hide it. And you can graduate 4 years, 5 years from school with guap, with Skrilla, with whatever cheese, whatever you want to call it. You can have a little savings cushion because you're not going to have a job right away with lucrative income. It might come over time and you might be fumbling and bumbling to find a job. I am working with lots of college graduates who are still looking for jobs. Now, Aaliyah was smart. She started a business while in college. So she got ahead of the game and probably ahead of a lot of her colleagues at Virginia State. So it's one of those things you got to think now. We're exposing you to, not out of because we want you to do this. We're encouraging you to look at all your options and saying, this is what's up. And once you see that we have showed you the light, you'll have better choices and options. Before we leave, Aaliyah, can you say one thing that can sum up why you do what you do right now?
That's crazy. I was just thinking. So I think, it's important, because I say that you can't be what you don't see, right? And a lot of times, right, we don't see a lot of us in these spaces, right? Teaching financial literacy, learning about finances and investing and things like that. And then if we do see it, it's a lot of older people right? And I know as a young person, when we hear older people talk, it's almost like, all right, they're talking because, you know, they have responsibilities or things like that, or like we're not really able to relate to them. So me being a young person, I'm telling y'all, like, yo, this is real life. You know what I'm saying? And you guys are, and I can speak your language and you guys will understand me on a different level. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's really why I do what I do, because I really want to make sure that our voice, we are the next generation. We're the next people to become wealthy. We're the next people to have families, to be doctors, lawyers, politicians, entrepreneurs, right? So our voice is very important, and we have to see more of us, you know, in these different spaces. So I can't, you know, preach this stuff and not be it. So I think that's why I really do what I do. And I just want to be an inspiration to you guys and other people and things like that, and to the world, to show that like this is possible, and that we also need to work together. You know what I'm saying? Because by me being on this Zoom right now and talking to you guys, this now gave you guys a new level of exposure, right? Y'all may have not known that you can have a business based out of teaching people financial literacy. Y'all may not have known that like you can start these different type of things. Y'all may have not known about the t-shirt thing. You know what I'm saying? So it gives you a different level of exposure. And there's a quote that says that once your mind is stretched, it can never go back to its original form, right? And that's why going on, you know, tours, the schools that y'all are going to is important, because once you see these schools, once you go to these campuses, you will never unsee that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Exposure is very important, y'all.
Exposure is very important. That is a mic drop. Aaliyah, thank you so much. You are amazing.
It was one more question.
And she's also in a... Sure. Go ahead.
All right. It says, what are your opinions on a quote? It takes money to make money. I always tell myself this, but I always tell myself this, it's like a typo. There's ways to make money with a small beginning budget. Yeah, I guess with that quote, right, I don't even just associate it with money real quickly. I'm gonna say I associate it with just risk, right? It takes a risk for you to make more money, right? So you may have to put up your own money. You may have to put up your own time. You may have to put up your own effort in order to make money. So it's not just associated with money, but a lot of times if you want to make a lot of money, you got to put up something. You know what I'm saying? So you have to risk something in order to get something back. And that's with anything. But yeah, that's it. All right, thank you guys so much for having me.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. She's amazing and busy. Hello. She makes time for us young folks over here. So thank you so much. And she's also an ambassador for the College Expo, the Black College Expo, and NCRF. NCRF is, we connect with tons of people who are superstars, and they're tangible, you guys. Tangible. You guys can reach out, call, and touch. Can they? I put your Instagram in the in our group chat. That's on our text messages. Can you put your website so they can do that?
Yeah, follow me, y'all. I gave y'all this game. Give me a follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I gave y'all my personal, my business page, and I'm about to write my personal page. And like any questions y'all ever have, like feel free to hit me up. I don't bite. I'm here to help. Like it could be about Virginia State, it could be about college, whatever it is. Like just hit me up, y'all.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay, guys, this is amazing. Thank you again, Aaliyah.
Right. Thank you, y'all. Enjoy your tours. Appreciate y'all.
Bye.